Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to our channel Physics, where we actually learn physics. So, in our previous lectures, we have talked about what are errors and what are the main types of errors. We have talked about in details what are errors first of all, as we have seen errors are nothing but the uncertainties in the measurements. Then we have talked about the types. One is a systematic error, other is a random error. Systematic errors are those which generally tend to be in a particular direction, either positive or negative, and the size of that error is almost same every time. Okay, almost same. And random errors are different. Okay, see, systematic errors can be controlled by taking proper precautions, following all the rules, removing personal biases, okay, etc., making the instruments more and more precise, more and more advanced. Okay, we can remove this systematic errors. But in case of random errors, okay, even if we use the most advanced instruments, even if we use the best experimental techniques, still we are likely to get these errors. Okay, still we are likely to get some errors in our measurements. Okay, every time we do the same measurement for the same physical quantity, we find a little bit of a variation in each of these values. That is because of the random errors. See, even if these systematic errors are present or not, okay, whether they are there or not, random errors will always be there. Okay, even if the systematic errors are present in a measurement, random errors are still there. Okay, even if they are not present, random errors are still there. Random errors are everywhere. They are always there. Okay, because they are random. Okay, so we have talked about all these things. Now in this lecture, we will talk about what is a least count error. Okay, a least count error. Least count, from the name itself we can see least count. Okay, so this least count error is associated with the least count of the instrument that we use for measurement purpose. Okay, least count error is associated with the least count of the instrument that we use for the measurement purposes. Okay, so now what is the least count of the instrument? What is it? So it's very simple. From the name itself we can suggest least count, least, smallest. Okay, so the smallest measurement that can be done using a particular instrument is called as least count of that instrument. Okay, the smallest measurement that can be done using the instrument is called as the least count of that instrument. Okay, so that is the definition of least count. For example, I have this scale right now over here. Okay, for example, I have this scale right now. On this scale, the smallest measurement that we can make is 0.1 centimeters. So that is its least count. You cannot measure any value less than 0.1 centimeter on this scale. You can only measure values which are either equal to 0.1 centimeter or greater than 0.1 centimeter. But remember, in multiples of 0.1 only. You cannot measure, okay, in any fractional multiples. Okay, you cannot measure in fractional multiples of this least count. Okay, see, for example, using this scale, you can have something like this. Either you will have 0.1 centimeter, 0.2 centimeter. Okay, this is the length that we can measure. Or you can measure 1.0 centimeter, 1.2 centimeter, just an example. Then maybe 5.6 centimeters, maybe 10.0 centimeters. Okay, so everywhere you can see that all these values that we are measuring are in multiples of 0.1 centimeter, and 0.1 centimeter is the least count of this instrument that we have used over here. Okay, okay, so you can check, for example, this one is 12 times 0.1 centimeter, right? So you can see it is 12 times. That means it is again multiple of 0.1 centimeter. Same here, this is 100 times 0.1 centimeter. 100 times 0.1 cent. Again, you can see here it is what? It is multiple of 0.1 only. Okay. Over here you cannot measure something like this. Half of this 0.1 by 2, 0.05. Okay. You cannot make any measurements in multiples of this 0.05. No, you cannot do that. Okay, using this instrument you can only measure in multiples of 0.1 centimeter. That is the least count. Same with all the instruments, like if you have a stopwatch, or I will show you the simple watch over here. This is my simple watch right now, you can see. Okay, so the least count of this simple watch is 1 second, isn't it? Because that is the smallest measurement that it can make. 1 second. So you cannot measure 0.5 seconds on that, or 1.5 seconds on that. You can measure 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, okay, 100 seconds. So you can measure in multiples of 1 second, not like half, not like 0.7, not like 0.5, 0.3, not like that. You can't do that. Okay, definitely you can't do that using any instrument actually. Okay, so this is nothing but the least count of any instrument. What is least count of instrument? Least count of any instrument is the smallest value that can be measured using that instrument, or we can say the smallest measurement that can be done using that instrument is called as its least count. Okay, so that is the definition for least count, and this least count error is associated with this. Now I have got some more instrument over here, like this one. This one is called as the vernier caliper. This is called as the vernier caliper. The least count of this vernier caliper is 0.01 centimeter. You can see smaller than this. Okay, so this instrument can measure values, okay, measure values which are either equal to this or greater than this, but not less than 0.01. This instrument cannot measure less than 0.01 centimeters, but it can measure in multiples of 0.01, like 0.02, 0.09, then 0.10, okay, then 0.19, okay, then 0.99, okay, then 1.00, okay, then 1.53, something like that. Okay, just an example. So you can see all these readings are in multiples of the 0.01. Okay, they are all in multiples of 0.01, which is the least count of this instrument. So again, here we can see one thing, that this instrument cannot measure values which are smaller than this. Okay, either it should be equal to this or greater than this, then only it can measure. But we have another instrument here with me. This is called as a micrometer screw gauge. This is called as a micrometer screw gauge or screw gauge. Okay, so this instrument has got even better least count. The least count of this instrument is 0.001 centimeter. Okay, you can see it is even better than these two instruments. Okay, so now this instrument can measure values which are either equal to this or in multiples of this. Okay, like it can measure values 0.002, 0.003, or maybe 0.0, you can say 09, okay, then 0.019, something like that. Just example, 0.101, okay, 0.999, okay, something like that, then 1.999, something like this, okay, and so on. Okay, so you can see all these values are in multiples of 0.001, okay, in multiples. Okay, so again there is one flaw over here. That flaw is what? That this cannot measure values smaller than this. Okay, this cannot measure values smaller than this. Again, this one cannot measure values smaller than this. This one cannot measure values smaller than this. So that's very sure actually, because that is the definition of least count of any instrument. What? Smallest measurement that can be done. This is the smallest. Okay, smallest measurement that can be done. We can't measure anything smaller than this. For this, we can't measure smaller than this. For this, we can't measure smaller than this. But this property associated with the least count brings some errors. Okay, so I will show you how these errors arise in all of these. Okay, so over here, for example, suppose you are measuring a length on this scale. Okay, let's say you are measuring some length on this scale, and the scale is somewhat like this, let's say. Okay, so let's say, as we know, on this scale, the markings are like let's say 2.3. okay, I'm just zooming it, 2.4, 2.5, something like this. Okay, so now if you want to measure it, okay, what you do is, suppose you are measuring the length of this arrow. Suppose you are measuring the length of the arrow. What you do is, you keep the one end of the arrow on the zero marking of the scale, and you check where this other end coincides on the scale, right? This is what we do. We keep the one end of the arrow, okay, on the zero marking, and we check where does the other end coincide on the scale. That is what we check, isn't it? So now suppose you can see, let's say the arrow coincides somewhere here. Okay, let's say we have kept the one end on the zero marking and the other end coincides over here. I will show you the example. Okay, like this one. I want to measure the length of this arrow. So what I will do is, I will keep it on the zero marking, one end on the zero. Okay, and I will check where other end coincides. Okay, where other end coincides. So it is, in this case, it is 13.8. Okay, in this case, it is 13.8. Yeah, it is 13.8 in this case. But we have taken one example, this one. So in this case, you can see the other end of the arrow. See, one end is coinciding first at the zero marking, then the other end is coinciding here. So what will be the length of this arrow? 2.3. Okay, 2.3. But if it was coinciding over here, so what would be the length? 2.4, right? But what if it is coinciding in between somewhere here? Now what will be the length? Can this instrument measure this length? Can this instrument give us a proper value for this length, which is lying between the two numbers 2.3 and 2.4? Because we know that any instrument can only measure in multiples of its least count. So it can either be 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, but not in between. It does not have that capability. Okay, it does not have that precision. Okay, it is not designed in that way. So we can't really have any value for this small segment over here. Okay, we can't have any value for this small segment using this instrument. So what we do in this case is, we choose the closest value. Like we check this end, where is it coinciding, or what it is close to. Right now you can see it is much closer to 2.4. So we will report it as 2.4. But you can see, when we are reporting this as a 2.4, we are bringing this error, this much part, because this is not 2.4, this is less than 2.4 actually, but you have brought this error, and this error is nothing but the least count error. Okay, so how does this least count error come? This comes because of the incapability of any instrument to measure any value less than its least count. Less than its least count. That is how it comes. Same here, if I go over here, let's say something like this. Suppose again I'm doing the same measurement, let's say. Okay, let's say we are doing the same measurement over here of the same arrow. Okay, now I'm using this vernier caliper. So on the vernier caliper scale, let's say, okay, so this is, let's say it is 2.35, okay, 2.36, 2.37. okay, so if the scale, sorry, if the arrow coincides over here at this 2.35, then the length will be reported as 2.35. If this end coincides at this, then it would be reported as 2.36. But if this arrow coincides in between somewhere here, so what we will report? Our instrument is incapable to note these readings. Okay, we can't do anything with this, isn't it? So what we are going to do? Okay, what we will do over here? So what we do is, again we take the closest number to this arrow. What is the closest number? That is the 2.36. So we will note this as 2.36. But when we do this, we are bringing this small error in our reading, isn't it? Because we see that the actual reading is not 2.36, it is definitely less. It is definitely less. Okay, so in that case, when we report it as 2.36, we are bringing this error. Again, this is least count error only. Okay, so again we can see here that the least count error arises due to the incapability of any instrument to measure any value less than its least count. Okay, less than its least count. Okay, so actually it's not a problem of the instrument. Definitely it's not the problem of the instrument, because instrument is doing its job very well. Okay, the way it is designed, okay, according to its design, it is doing its job very well. But still this problem arises. Okay, still this problem arises because it cannot resolve, okay, to a larger extent, and that brings errors, and this is called as least count errors. Okay, so how does least count error arise? They arise due to the incapability of the instrument to measure any physical quantity, okay, of the value less than the least count. Okay, incapability of the instrument to measure any value less than its least count. Okay, that is what brings the least count error. Same thing with this. Again if you go for this, you will check the same thing, that because of the incapability to measure less than 0.001, again you will have some errors. Okay, so you can see how these least count errors arise in any measurement. Okay, so I hope this is clear what is least count error. Okay, I hope this is very, very clear to all of you. What is a least count error? Okay, so now the question is, main question is, where does this least count error belong? I mean, is it a random error or is it a systematic error, or both, or not both? Okay, what is it? So the answer is, it belongs to both, random as well as systematic. Okay, least count errors are systematic errors up to certain limit, because as we know, systematic errors arise due to the imperfections in the design of the instrument. So you can see here, incapability to measure, that is the imperfection is in the design. Okay, so that means it is associated with the design of the instrument. This is associated with the calibration of the instrument. Okay, so we can see here that is the problem of the instrument. So that's why it is a kind of a systematic error also up to certain extent, but to a most extent it is a random error. Okay, to a large extent it is a random error also. How? Because random errors are what? Even after all the precautions, some errors do pop up, and these are called as random errors. So over here also we have used the best possible instrument we can. We are having the best experimentalist, maybe best experimental techniques are used, and still these errors arise. Whatever we do, these errors are always there. So that's why they are random errors. So least count error is also a random error. Okay, so it is both systematic as well as random. Okay, for both of its reasons. Okay, so I think this is it for now. I hope what is least count error is clear to all of you. Okay, if not, you can ask me in the comment section. Any doubts, whatever you want to ask, you can ask. I will definitely try to answer it as fast as possible. Okay, so I will stop right now. Okay, I will see you in the next video where we will talk more about some more concepts like absolute errors and other types of errors. Okay, so thank you so much for joining over here. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a nice day. Bye bye. See you.